10 to 7. They say an Englishman's home is his castle. But how have our homes changed in the last 200 years, and what are they going to look like in the future?
All questions being asked at an exhibition opening today at the Royal Institute of British Architects in London, and Graham Satchell is there for us today. Morning, Graham.
Hi, Bill. Well, what you're looking at is the first sort of mass house, and Georgian houses around 200 years ago. And what's interesting about this exhibition is that it does show that there have been a huge variety of different homes and a brief dalliance with modernism and high-rise flats. But actually, quite a lot of the houses being built today, like this, are rather traditional-looking, almost neo-Georgian. So why is it that homes still look so similar to 250 years ago? We've been trying to find out.
A Georgian terrace in Sheerness in Kent. Number 3 belongs to Howard and Justin.
To see the house, I just fell in love with the outside and left the rest to Justin.
I always coveted these houses, I always wanted to live here, and the rest is history.
History indeed. Howard and Justin have lovingly restored their home back to its 1820s original.
I think modern life can be very harsh, and it's quite nice to escape back to something when you come home. And certainly when we have guests, it just has that real nice, cosy, old-fashioned family feel to it.
For some, this is all too fussy. For others, the period features the high ceilings of an original Georgian house can't be bettered. So what about new homes being built today? This is the Moore family. They moved in just before Christmas.
To be honest, it just feels like home now. It's felt like home for quite a while, hasn't it?
The Moores live in a David Wilson home, part of the Barratt Homes group. It has a larger than normal kitchen. The architect studied how a family used a home for 6 months before coming up with this.
Love the kitchen. I spend most of the time in the kitchen because when I'm getting on doing cooking and cleaning and whatever, the kids are often in there with me. So it's a really nice room to have.
Upstairs there's a den for the kids, space for the family to be apart and to come together.
No regrets whatsoever, no. We're really happy.
One of the best decisions we've made.
Now, let's compare the Moore family home with Justin and Howard's, separated by 200 years, but still somehow similar. Here's the paradox. If this is what we like, neo-Georgian classical pastiche, why are satisfaction levels with housing in this country among the lowest in the developed world?
I desperately think that what we need is housing that gives us a positive image of the actual times we live in, rather than acts like a sort of cosy dream of 200 years ago.
Alain de Botton has started something called Living Architecture. 7 modern homes all over the UK. You can stay in them for a nominal fee to experience the possibilities of modern architecture.
The current housing stock in the UK, on the whole, makes a case for despair and depression rather than hope and optimism, and I think we need to change that.
The last time modern architecture really took hold on our homes, we got tower blocks. And we didn't like them much. It may be hard to change our love of the familiar.
Well, with us now is Harry Rich from the Royal Institute of British Architects. Harry, is Alain de Botton right that most new houses built today are too small, too traditional and depressing?
I think he's exaggerating to make a point. I mean, we definitely know that most new build homes in this country are too small and not of high enough quality. They're not innovative enough, so he's right to that extent. Depressing, I don't know, if people enjoy living in them, then they enjoy living in them.
So here's this. Is it that we actually like the idea of living in something that harks back to 200 years, or is it that we buy them because that's all that's really being offered to us?
I mean, of course, we're making the biggest investment of our life if we build a home. You want something that feels comfortable, feels familiar, traditional, mostly. You don't want something that's utterly experimental, usually. But it is partly to do with choice. We've seen in other areas of people's lives, if they can buy modern, interesting, colourful furniture, they do that. With housing, it's much harder. You buy what you can get.
So whose fault is that? Is it your fault, the architects not being ambitious enough? Is it the developers? Why is modern housing a little disappointing?
Well, it's a partnership, isn't it? And it's a partnership between developers who build it, architects who design it, and people who buy those homes. Architects will build exciting homes if the developers say, we want to give that a go. So it is that partnership, but architects love to do exciting, interesting things that people want.
Yeah. Harry, thank you very much indeed. 1 million new homes to be built in the next 10 years, so it'll be interesting to see if we all rise to that challenge. Back to you.
Graham, thanks very much. Graham Satchell reporting there.
Thank you, Graham.